Well, hello. Really good herb. See, my tie needs a little straightening up there. And I want to say happy Tuesday. It's been a while since we've been here on the big broadcast. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. We're going to pay a salute to one of my friends today, Wavy Gravey. Some of you may have heard of Wavy Gravey ice cream made by Ben and Jerry. It's the same Wavy Gravey that they named it after. Wavy Gravey started showing up at marijuana protests and demonstrations dressed as a clown. And he did that as his way of keeping from getting himself beaten up by the police. Because Wavy Gravey figured out that if you showed up to demonstrations dressed like a clown, the police wouldn't hit you or rough you up because they didn't want to look like they were bullying a clown in front of children. So that is how Wavy Gravey became the official clown of the cannabis movement. And we got some current affairs to talk about today since we've been gone for a while. And of course, we'll be letting you know what's going to be in the news feed tomorrow. So make it a point to watch us today and share us with your friends. We're going to, as always, take a commercial break, and then we're going to kick off the show here at Time for Hemp.
Friedman Fitch Associates are financial advisors specializing in cannabis investing. You don't have to be a drug dealer to get rich from marijuana. Now you could get filthy rich from the stock market. In the last few years, 64 weed stocks have shot up over 1,000%. Why? Because the prohibition of weed is coming to an end. 29 states have now legalized medical cannabis. 8 states have legalized recreational use. It is estimated that $35 billion in new wealth will be created each year, causing the green rush. And smart investors are cashing in. So how do you become a smart investor? Easy. Talk to the #1 financial advisor specializing in the marijuana industry. Friedman Fitch Associates aim to offer sound, well-researched advice rather than hype. Get rich the safe way. Invest in marijuana stocks with Friedman Fitch Associates. Go to friedmanfitch.com and register for a free consultation. That's friedmanfitch.com.
If you're seeking healthy products for your skincare needs, you'll want to visit hempease.com. The fine folks at hempease.com blend together 9 healing herbs that have been selected specifically to help reduce swelling, rejuvenate circulation, invigorate cellular growth, and stimulate deep tissue healing. When you visit their website, you will find a wide variety of great products, from body butter to body salves to fantastic hemp root oil that is just great for all parts of your body. And there's even something there for your special 4-legged friends that everyone considers part of the family. So if you're looking for something that is made of organic healing herbs specifically designed for your body's needs, you'll want to visit hempease.com. That's HEMP-EAZE.com.
Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they spend. Take another look now and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Oh, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rest. Well, right now it's time for hemp.
Thank you for taking time for hemp and for joining us today. We appreciate you being part of our family and letting your friends know about our broadcast. About 3 weeks ago, we decided we were going to start doing a show every day of the week, Monday through Friday. And that was the intention. And then we had a couple of major hurricanes hit America and just wrecked the heck out of Florida and especially, oh my gosh, the islands out there in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, and there, of course, in Texas started the whole thing off. So all the victims and all the problems going on there, we just didn't think it would be of any real benefit to have a cannabis show when there was so much heartache and so much problem going on, not just in the world, but in our own backyard, not to mention the fires that are going on here in our country. And then there's been a couple of major earthquakes that have occurred in Mexico, and there are a lot of people that are hurting these days. And I don't know, it just didn't seem to make any sense to do anything but to grieve and pray for the people that were facing these challenges, and give our show a rest so that that news could be focused on, and maybe, just maybe, more help could get to these centers. Those of you who do follow Time for Hemp and keep an eye on the things that I do also know that I've got a website called Time for Hemp, and I've got a Facebook group for Time for Hemp. I've also got a Facebook group for pets. It's called Time for Pets, and it's spelled with the F-O-R. Maybe sometime between now and the end of the show, I'll dig it out. It's on Facebook. It's about 5,000, 6,000 members of the group, and it's focused on trying to help people learn how to care for pets, and people find a home for pets that have been abandoned and or have been too many births. You know, the little puppy that needs a home. Well, now it's oversaturated with people trying to reunite these lost pets from these hurricane hit cities and these flooded cities with their original owners. And if they can't find the original owners that these pets belong to, they're going to have to find homes, hopefully, for these pets to go to and to settle in and to readjust and find love. So there are a lot of groups and organizations across the United States that are assisting in making that happen. I would encourage you to thoroughly research any organization that is claiming to help the pets that have been separated from their owners in these places where hurricanes and earthquakes have hit. But once you find a good organization, please donate to it. Please. The money is being used to help provide medication for these pets that did have homes and did have caregivers and did have veterinarians checking them frequently, but now suddenly have no one. And this money will go to feed these pets, because it takes quite a bit of cash to feed animal after animal after animal a good healthy diet, and then to also place these pets into new homes, because while they're waiting to be found by new owners or by their original owner, they are taking up space in a shelter that requires lights be paid for, heating be paid for, rent be paid for. So it is quite costly to care for our friends, our four-legged friends, or our two-legged friends if you got a bird, or our no-legged friends if you got a snake. But it is rather costly, and I do ask that you reach out and help the pets in these areas that have been suddenly thrust into a very negative situation that they have no understanding of. Humans, we can have a discussion and say the hurricane's coming in and how strong the winds are, and have an understanding as to why the house was blowing down. But animals don't have any understanding, and they don't understand why it is their owners just disappeared or abandoned them or just left them. And they don't understand how it was that they were cared and loved so much for one day, and the next day be just all alone. All alone. So please please do make it a point to find a good organization that helps to take care of these types of problems for our pets and donate. Even if you can donate time, that's even better, because there are a lot of pets that need physical touch by human beings, that need cleaning and hugging and walking, and the cages need cleaning, and so there is so much to do, so very much to do, and all these pet centers are short-handed and they're short on funds. And we have the federal government will help the general public that's facing these crises to an extent, I guess. I don't know. But one thing's for certain, they don't have a lot of resources or plans to help pets. So that really is something that we, as private citizens, need to focus on. So please do. And then yesterday I was going to launch the show. Turned on the TV set before I launched the show and saw all these people had been shot. Oh boy. In Las Vegas, you know, I mean, there's terror activity going on all around the world, of course, and this is not new type of activity, but I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it made sense to act like this back in the 1400s when we were too ignorant as a species to understand that we had the ability to feed everybody and love everybody and provide medical care for everybody. But with today's knowledge explosion and the easy access to Google and the internet and all the things that we learn from watching TV and seeing movies and just walking down the street and seeing in magazines and newspapers, we know that now. Oh, gee. We know that now. But we still kill, and we still continue to hurt each other, hurt other species like dolphins and dogs, and destroy the earth. It's really sad. We're the smartest creature on earth. We are the smartest creature on earth. And look how stupid that we behave. I don't know. But anyway, I had hoped to be able to kick off the show in a happy mood, in a happy frame, and move forward. But there's just so much tragedy that it's going to take a while for all of us to collectively get over the grief and to understand, if any way, why some of this stuff happens. But until then, we count on people like Wavy Gravey to cheer us up. Wavy Gravey's been around for a while. I first met Wavy Gravey back in 1991 at the Earth Day event in San Francisco. And Earth Day has been around for a while as well. And if you are looking for a way to pay honor to Mother Earth, there is at least one full day that you can dedicate your whole life to taking care of Mother Earth and showing Mother Earth love. And we can also show a little love to people like, you got it, Wavy Gravey.
You have some gravy in your face. This is Wavy Gravey, your basic psychedelic relic and temple of accumulated error. And your name is, sir?
Casper Leitch.
Yes, Casper. And what are you on?
This show.
And this show is...
Time for Hemp.
No. Give me an H. H. Give me an E. E. Give me an M. L. Give me a P. P. A P is a D to drift. It's time for Hemp. Yeah. And what are we going to talk about today? Hemp.
And we are. We're going to start talking about hemp again today. Try and stay on topic. We got new sponsors that have come on board that's going to help us keep our show on time and on target. That's important. If you got a budget to work with, then you're able to say, well, we're going to have a show every day and actually have a show every day. So that's nice. We want to thank the people at Friedman Fitch for coming on board and joining our family. And we encourage you to check out their website. And there is a lot of exciting things happening in the world of cannabis, to say the least. And some of the things that we know about for sure is, of course, we all know I've got a website called Time for Hemp that I would like for you to visit, right? And share with your friends. And you can always come over here, see where it says here, and you can hit this button down here. And it says play right there. You can hit that button and I'll just start playing. And we put up new cartoons occasionally. We try to get them up every week. And there's our Tweety feed and some of our past shows, and then there's some other programs you might want to check out. And then, of course, we've got some of our sponsors you might want to meet, and we encourage you to do that. And there are 7 blogs that you also might find of interest there as well. So, but anyway, as you know, I got a website that we do visit, and so I thought I would take advantage of this to let you know as to what we're going to be covering on the news feed tomorrow. One of the things we're going to be focusing on is how the up-and-coming Nashville band Bird Talker has kicked off the Underground series, and you want to go, if you can, make it a point to check out their music. They are a wonderful group and a very talented people. Then you also want to make it a point to check out our blog tomorrow. Our news feed tomorrow. We're going to be covering cannabis oil and how it relieves seizures. And there's a lot of studies that talk about that, and a lot of patients that have acknowledged that using cannabis oil has helped them acquire the ability to enjoy life and have a better quality of life. So it is not just hearsay. It is actually proven that cannabis oil does help chronic seizures. And we're also going to be posting an article about the sun, the wind, and the cannabis. And it appears that Connie Johnson, Oklahoma governor, sees the benefit of having cannabis legal and using cannabis as a way of making the farm industry strong and creating jobs. And so she has encouraged people to get behind these farm bills. So you want to check that out. She's a very bright lady, and will hopefully be taking all of America into the future. So, well, I just dropped the window. I'm going to open this up. Hello, there I am. And our Tweety feed is free to subscribe to. And it's our way of jumping over Facebook. Facebook does what they can to slow us down from sharing our content and from posting our promos about our shows. So with Twitter, there isn't any of that. We can just get everything out, boom, at one time. And we appreciate Twitter. And we don't like Facebook. So we're using the Facebook, as a platform or a launching pad into other social sites. But it's important to have a Facebook, so we do have one. And it's also important to pay our bills, and I'm going to do that right now.
Indigrow is your source for affordable induction grow lighting. First discovered in 1891 by Nikola Tesla, Indigrow lights deliver 11 years of electronic sunlight to your plants. Indigrow lamps require less than half the power of traditional HID lamps. Converting to Indigrow lights means you'll cut down on your power bill with less lighting. Indigrow lamps also use 5 times less mercury than traditional fluorescent or HID lamps, making Indigrow not only energy efficient but environmentally friendly as well. No more switching out lamps between vegetative and flowering stages. As nature intended, your lights get a steady dose of UV light. That makes your plants grow healthier and stronger. Indigrow products are manufactured in San Diego, California, and come with a written 10-year warranty. What Tesla knew, then growers know now, is that Indigrow lighting is the cost-effective addition to your victory garden. To learn more or order now, go to inda-grow.com. That's INDA-GRO.com. Or call 877-452-2244 to answer any of your questions. These guys really know lights. Indigrow really is your sunlight in a box.
How would you like to have all the best cannabis info all in one place? Canafo.com is the Google, Facebook, and Craigslist of cannabis. It even has its own social media platform. Canafo.com puts the world of medicinal and recreational cannabis in one place for consumers, businesses, and growers. Canafo.com is a free service where you can find over 9,000 different strains of cannabis, shop cannabis classifieds, and much more. Canafo.com is the world's most comprehensive source for all things cannabis. Get in the know with Canafo.
Get in the know with Canafo and let them know that you heard about them here on the big broadcast. And that's true with all of our sponsors. They need to know that their dollars in supporting this broadcasting network are well spent, and that you as a listener appreciate the content that we share. I also want to let you know that on our Tweety feed, we're giving a big salute to Orrin Hatch. Those of you who say one voice does not make any difference, you're wrong. One voice can make a big difference. And I would encourage you to write your senators and your Congress people to let them know that they represent you, and you want to see cannabis legal, medical marijuana legal, hemp legal, whatever you want to call it. You want to see the prohibition end. And because there are members in the Senate and the Congress who also believe that that needs to end as well. As an example would be Orrin Hatch.
Mr. President, it's high time to address research into medical marijuana. Our country has experimented with a variety of state solutions without properly delving into the weeds on the effectiveness, safety, dosing, administration, and quality of medical marijuana. Now, all puns aside, it will surprise no one that I am strongly against the use of recreational marijuana. I worry, however, that in our zeal to enforce the law, we too often blind ourselves to the medicinal benefits of natural substances like cannabis. While I certainly do not support the use of marijuana for recreational purposes, the evidence shows that cannabis possesses medicinal properties that can truly change people's lives for the better. And I believe, Mr. President, that we would be remiss if we threw out the baby with the bathwater. Mr. President, today I'm introducing a proposal that could substantially improve America's health care. Despite what some of my colleagues believe, it doesn't take a sweeping overhaul of Obamacare to do this. Sometimes even small changes can have a huge impact on people's lives. That's why throughout my 4 decades of public service, I have worked to shine a light on the need for innovative treatments to help those who suffer from debilitating illness and rare diseases. In that same spirit, I am joining Senator Schatz today to introduce the Marijuana Effective Drug Studies, or MEDS Act, which has the potential to benefit millions of Americans suffering from a wide range of conditions, including cancer, severe epilepsy, post-traumatic stress disorder, residual effects after a stroke, or chronic pain. Mr. President, it's high time to address research into medical marijuana. Our country has experimented with a variety of state solutions without properly delving into the weeds on the effectiveness, safety, dosing, administration, and quality of medical marijuana. Now, all puns aside, it will surprise no one that I am strongly against the use of recreational marijuana. I worry, however, that in our zeal to enforce the law, we too often blind ourselves to the medicinal benefits of natural substances like cannabis. While I certainly do not support the use of marijuana for recreational purposes, the evidence shows that cannabis possesses medicinal properties that can truly change people's lives for the better. And I believe, Mr. President, that we would be remiss if we threw out the baby with the bathwater. In many cases, the compounds found in cannabis are the only hope for Americans who suffer from chronic medical conditions such as severe epilepsy. Take the difficult case of a young man from Eagle Mountain, Utah, who suffers from a number of different epileptic disorders and developmental ailments. My friend regularly takes 17 pills on a daily basis, yet continues to have seizures regularly. The current treatment for this condition, with no guarantee of success, would be invasive brain surgery. The poor family is seeking help, yearning for a way for their child to live a safe and healthy life. Compounds found in marijuana could significantly mitigate the severity of my friend's seizures and even help him lead a normal life. But current regulations prevent the development of any such treatment from going forward. So this young man is left to suffer. Luckily, the Meds Act changes that. It updates the law for the 21st century, allowing for groundbreaking research on the potential life-saving benefits of medical marijuana. Compounds found in marijuana have shown promise for treating a wide range of diseases and disorders. But because of bureaucratic red tape and fear, there is a lack of sufficient evidence about the safety and efficacy of these compounds. As a result, millions of Americans are using marijuana for medicinal purposes without the rigorous scientific evidence that we require all medications to have before we allow them to be prescribed in this country. There are currently no federal quality control measures for marijuana growth, for marijuana grown for medicinal purposes, nor is there any quality control for the marijuana-based medications that patients eventually use. Prescribers do not have guidance on appropriate doses, routes of administration, or even the safety of the medication for populations such as children or the elderly. This lack of oversight creates a dangerous environment that puts American lives at risk. As we continue to encourage the development of new therapies for those with severe medical problems, we must be unrelenting in our insistence on scientific rigor. Using only anecdotal information poses a significant public health risk. We lack the science to support use of medical marijuana products like CBD oils, not because researchers are unwilling to do the work, but because of bureaucratic red tape and overregulation. Under current law, those who want to complete research on the benefits of medical marijuana must engage in a complex application process and interact with several federal agencies. These regulatory acrobatics can take researchers over a year, if not more, to complete. And the longer researchers have to wait, the longer patients have to suffer. Currently, the FDA estimates that a drug takes a minimum of 7 years to move from initial studies to FDA approval. The regulatory hoops researchers have to jump through significantly delay the production of potentially life-challenging medications, or life-changing medications, that Americans need. To develop more information about marijuana's therapeutic potential, we need robust basic and clinical research. The Meds Act would encourage this research through reduced regulatory interference, and it would expand sources of research-grade marijuana with the assurance of a quality-controlled product. My proposal would also allow for the commercial production of drugs developed from marijuana once they have been approved by the FDA. I'm pleased with the legislation Senator Schatz and I have been able to craft surrounding CBO oil and medical research. We are committed to seeing that this bill becomes law. Mr. President, before I yield the floor, I would like to take a moment to share my perspective on the broader discussion of medical marijuana and its implications in my home state of Utah. In Utah and across the nation, opioid abuse continues to ravage good, hard-working families who have fallen captive to the tyranny of addiction. While some people are using these prescription drugs appropriately, others are abusing them at alarming rates. Because Utahns have watched their family members, friends, and neighbors grapple with this epidemic, many are seeking non-narcotic alternatives that can help with pain. Medical marijuana is just one such alternative. And after careful, deliberative thought, I've concluded that it's an alternative worth pursuing. Now let me be clear, my support for medical marijuana research does not mean that I believe that marijuana is a harmless substance. Much to the contrary, I continue to believe that marijuana can lead to broader drug abuse. And I'm deeply concerned by the cottage industry springing up in states where marijuana has been legalized, both for medical and recreational use. So let me be clear. I'm still very much opposed to the legalization of recreational marijuana. But I strongly support research into the medicinal benefits of marijuana, and I remain committed to helping patients find the help they need, whether they suffer from cancer, severe seizures, or any other chronic disorder. In crafting a new regulatory framework to harvest the medicinal benefits of marijuana while also mitigating its harmful effects, we must ensure that any marijuana-derived medications are prescribed by qualified physicians or other healthcare providers. And if we make medical marijuana accessible to those who really need it, we should not increase access to recreational marijuana, nor should we do anything to promote the industry that is developed around marijuana dispensaries. Mr. President, the recreational marijuana industry has its fair share of budding entrepreneurs. But these men and women are in no way qualified to issue prescriptions or give any medical advice whatsoever to people suffering from chronic conditions. Only experienced medical professionals who have undergone years of education and formal training are qualified to consult patients seeking a marijuana-derived treatment. Only licensed professionals know how to accurately diagnose illnesses and use approved medical treatments to safely treat disease. Our purpose in advancing medical marijuana research should be to help doctors, help patients, not to help dispensaries turn a profit. To that end, I also believe that treatment options should focus on non-combustive forms of marijuana. Our ability to isolate helpful compounds is advanced enough to make this plan a reality. Mr. President, I understand that medical marijuana is a difficult issue. I understand that it's not an issue without controversy. But we cannot shrink from our duties simply because they require us to make hard choices. And at present, we have a duty to help the thousands of Americans suffering from debilitating seizures and chronic pain who desperately want help but don't know where to get it or find it. Passing the MEDS Act is the first step in giving these men and women the reprieve they need. I hope my colleagues will not shy away from making the hard choices that will improve people's lives. The bill Senator Schatz and I introduced today represents what our two parties can accomplish when we work together in good faith. I hope my colleagues will join us in supporting this common sense proposal.
And I hope you join them as well and send letters, snail mail, send letters, emails, and cards. Knock on the door, meet them at town meetings, and let them know that you appreciate what they're doing and you're behind them and you want to get your senator and your congressman on board as well. How can you put them together to talk? Share information with your congressmen and your senators about this bill, and also add additional literature to it, extra books or URLs that talk about medical cannabis and medical cannabis research in other cities and states and countries. And let's see what we can do by rolling up our sleeves and collectively letting the whole world know how important it is to take. You got it. Time for hemp.
Have you ever had a problem with overcooking your cannabis oil? You probably wanted to rip your hair out when you burned off all the THC, right? I even cried one time when my brownies failed to make a good impression at the party. Well, I stopped crying when I found magical butter. Magical Butter is a device with a microprocessor-controlled program sequencer. It was designed by a scientist and a chemist to precisely extract the benefits of various herbs. Magical Butter easily makes botanical butter, oils, tinctures, lotions, sauces, and more. Magical Butter heats your oil and your herbs at the perfect temperature every time. Check us out at magicalbutter.com because it's magical. Okay, there's a lot of science and chemistry involved, but it sure works like magic.
Hey, Bob, what's up, man?
I'm just surfing all over the web, trying to find some info on medical marijuana and the best strains of cannabis. Advice for growers?
Looks like you're having a hard time, bro.
There's gotta be a million websites out there.
True, but you really only need one website to find out what you need. It'll save you a bunch of time.
Sounds great. What is it?
Check out Canafo.com. Cannafo.com.
That's right, Tommy and Bob. Canafo.com is the world's first online directory, marketplace, news portal, growing advice resource, and social media platform for all things cannabis.
Dude, where's that voice coming from?
You hear that too? Maybe we ought to cut back a little.
Canafo.com is the Google, Facebook, and Craigslist of cannabis. It even has its own social media platform. Canafo.com puts everything cannabis in one place for consumers, business, and growers. Canafo.com is a free service where you can find over 9,000 different strains of cannabis.
Whoa!
Shop cannabis classifieds and much, much more. Canafo.com. Visit today and get in the know with Canafo.
You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. The only broadcasting network dedicated to ending the global war on drugs on iHeartRadio. Please share us with your friends.
And we do mean, please share us with your friends. After all, that is how we are found. We are all around the internet making sound on the internet about how important it is to end cannabis prohibition. And we have lots of free podcasts on our website. And you can go to our website. We've got, you can go to our website and check out the network archives. We got the audio archives and the video archives. You just go to that page, click on it, and of course it'll take you to that page, and then you can find the program that you like, and then you can download that program, and or you can go to the current programs that we're doing, if you like, and meet some of our program hosts. Some of you may have a favorite host or a favorite show that you enjoy watching. So you can go there, you can check out, you can find out Time for Hemp and who's on, or Judge James Gray, or Andrea Herman, and of course we got L.S. Love and Dean Becker, and just some really great hosts doing great content about the need to end cannabis prohibition. And they have lots of fabulous guests that are patients or doctors or lawyers, or they're behind bars, or they're trying to get out from behind bars or keep from going behind bars. I mean, there's a lot of things that we cover on there. A lot of new cannabis businesses, medical marijuana dispensaries, hemp farming communities growing up, and we have activists and people who are working in those industries on as guests on all of the programs. You can also find us on Roku TV, which is pretty cool. And all of the videos that we're doing are there. Of course, they're on YouTube as well. They're going to be on other platforms. And so we're going to be growing our audience left and right. We got apps that you can download into your phone and your other smart devices to keep us handy. We got a live stream that you can listen to around the clock. It's about 2 hours of music and then an hour of talk and then a couple hours of music and then about an hour of talk. And the music's all cannabis related, marijuana related, that kind of jazz related, but it might have come from the 1930s, or it might have come from 1950, or it might have come from last week. It might be rock and roll, it might be blues, it might be jazz, it might be country western, it might be rap. As long as it's focused on cannabis and the need to end cannabis prohibition and how wonderful hemp is, we play it on the network. So there is a large variety of styles to enjoy. So what I'm saying, if you tune in and you don't like the song that you're listening to then, well, just hit the pipe, relax, you're bound to like the next song. And how we are found is that we are shared, and when we are shared, people learn about cannabis and the need to end prohibition, and they learn that we've got archives that they can get into and find information about and share those with their friends. And we've been doing this since way back in the old days, 26 years, Time for Hemp now. And we started out as a TV series. As we opened up the show with Little Wavy Gravey, we're going to close the show with a Little Wavy Gravey, because this is something that we all really need to focus on now. That's basic human needs. That's the name of this song that Wavy Gravey put together. Wavy's a clown. Wavy's pretty funny. And if you get a chance to see him perform, I'd do so. He's a good stand-up comedian, but he's also a good speaker. And he's very profound at times. And he wrote this song himself, performed it himself, and surprised me when we were filming at the Earth Day events back in San Francisco in 1991. And I'm glad that we were able to catch this on film. And if you get a chance, you might also want to let Wavy Gravey know that you heard about him on the big broadcast. He's got a Facebook, and if you type into a Google search Wavy Gravey, you'll find his website, and you might let him know that you were watching Time for Hemp, and Time for Hemp pay tribute to him and send our love. He is a psychedelic relic from the past, as he proclaims himself to be.
Okay, I'm a hog farmer, and years and years of driving around these crazy painted buses, and everybody says, well, you got to go over to that holler. Old Zeke knows where it's at. We drive over there and we ask Zeke where it's at, and we get sent something. We're driving around asking people where it's at. And this song is like if you take an arc of lights and if you put a match between two mirrors. As I said to the mirror the other morning, it's all done with people. And if you stick a match between two mirrors, you get an arc of lights that stretches to infinity. And this song is that arc of lights. And wouldn't it be neat if the people that you meet had shoes upon their feet and something to eat? And wouldn't it be fine now if all humankind had shelter? Basic human needs, basic human deeds, doing what comes naturally. Down in the garden where no one is apart, deep down in the garden of your heart. Now that's the chorus. Sing it with me. Basic human needs. Only a few of us, so we gotta do it with gusto. Basic human needs. Basic human deeds. Basic human deeds. Doing what comes naturally. Doing what comes naturally. Down in the garden. Down in the garden where no one is apart. Deep down in the garden. Deep down in the garden of your heart, the garden of your heart. And wouldn't it be grand if we all lent a hand so each one could stand on a free piece of land? And wouldn't it be thrilling if folks stopped their killing and started in tilling the land till they have basic human needs? Basic human needs. Basic human needs. Doing what comes naturally down in the garden where no one is apart. Deep down in the garden, you know where? The garden of your heart. Here's the bridge. Not just churches, not just steeples. Give me peoples. Help in people. Help yourself and work out till the stars begin to shout. Thank God for something to do. Basic human needs. Basic human needs, yeah. Basic human deeds. Doing what comes naturally down in the garden where no one is apart. Deep down in the garden of your heart. Last verse. And wouldn't it be daring if folks started sharing instead of comparing what each other was wearing? And wouldn't it be swell if people didn't sell their Mother Earth basic human needs? Last time with gusto, basic human needs. Yeah! Basic human needs. Down what comes naturally. Yeah. Down in the garden where no one is apart. Deep down in the garden of your heart. Let's legalize it. Ow! Thank you.